Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. It seems like we had some talking going on off the stage. Listen, we come here every week, and shout out to Mount Branch Library. What we're going to do right now is load in our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Will we come to you live or stream live from Mott Branch Library? And shout out to Mott Branch Library for always rolling out the red, black, and green carpet. If you hear some chirping sounds in the background, man, Mott Branch, they got
Black August,
and they got to add. Get batteries for their smoke detector. It does not get more African American than that. Hey, so anyway, let's get into some intros. We got a dynamite show, as you've seen right here on our screen, who we have, but we'll have that brother introduce himself when he gets on. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, and also a registered and active member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. It was Mike and Jabril that came up with the term community solidarity, and they had put together a couple of events, and then they asked me to help do some planning. And Jody, here we are, still here. I've got my beads on. I've got my glasses from Optigo, Twix in between. So if you see my sister Kristen Moncrief, she may be in her Optigo bus. Let her know that I mentioned it, and she'll take something off on your next pair of glasses. Let her know I said that, and Jody seconded.
And repeat the Black August discount to her.
Right. Let her know it's a Black August discount. All right. And we may even have Kristen take over our page.
I bet it's
all
possible.
right. Talk about eye care and the vision camp and whatever Kristen wants to do. Whatever's going to get me a free pair of glasses next time.
Everybody's going to be on the page asking for discounts.
That's okay. She can handle it. All right. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. We're doing this for the activist culture and the protest community, where we have our own platform to do and say the things that need to be said without it being filtered or decided if it's okay to have Rob here or whatever. You know, we do what we want, however we want to do it. Jody, I think I'm wrapping up my intro. If you could do your intros, then we'll come back with our mission statement and guiding principles, take a short break, and move on with the show.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, treasurer and also networker. So I like people to see me actually physically doing the work. So I always get people asking, why are you not looking at the camera? Why are you on your phone? Well, this is how it gets done. I don't pay nobody being the treasurer for marketing and research. So all live while I'm going on my phone, that is me marketing, sending in about 200 to 300 messages out to people just to let them know and aware that we are live. We thank you for joining us every single week. You know, it's almost 11 years.
That's right.
It's getting closer to that 11-year mark. We've been doing this podcast for almost 6.
Okay. True.
Just to give a little history on the background of everything, because, you know, legacies do matter when people bring that stuff up. Oh, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. That's what I'm saying. But that is kind of us. And I enjoy each and every week coming here and meeting different audiences, connecting with you in the comments, seeing new subscribers.
Yeah.
We've also added in reels and short clips. This show might become some reels and short clips, depending on what our guest has to say about the community and everything like that. And for those of you out there that do tune in, because you know that we're not only on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spotify, meaning, sorry about the coughing, you can't see our faces. So the reason why we describe ourselves, because yes, we have all this Black in history behind us and protest and stuff like that. And we are the actual people that live through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not co-signing or having any educated person come up here to tell you what's going on. Probably should have took Rob's water.
You probably should have took, yeah.
But it's okay. All the Canadian wildfires and stuff like that, I blame them.
That is it right there.
But,
absolutely.
See, I still, I guess, water.
That just means you're going to have to break open the bank since you are the treasurer.
Yeah, I got to
We
get a
should
couple
be able
dollars.
to afford at least 2 waters, all right? I don't know what happened to the other one.
Couple dollars out the bank account. But so, how do you get to this point? How does 11 years become this? Well, we have a mission statement and
our guiding principles that help keep this thing together, all right?
right, which after so long and meeting so many thousands of people and different ideas and stuff like that, you have to have some foundation, some ground rules or house rules that keep your organization the same. So our mission statement is this, and it has been the same. I did not used to always read it. I used to avoid these roles because of coughing and stuff like that. But we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right. I think that water did it. All right.
A little bit. It's working its way, you know. Got to stay hydrated, keep the Canada wildfires up my throat.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I don't know how to respond to that, but hey, these are the CSRN guiding principles. Having multiple protesters and activists to be a part of something on paper just looks like it's a bad idea. So we need to have something that's going to keep all of us a part of the glue, so that no one will try to, I guess, I don't want to say outshine or have go on some power trip. We took our guiding principles from 2015, the movement for Black Lives, and then we kind of remixed it and adapted it for what we're doing right now. These are the guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives. I heard that sound. Poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe?
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing loving, direct communication. Ashe?
Ashe.
Love. Self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe?
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe?
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe?
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe?
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Jody, I know you said a bit earlier about Black August. We'll be talking about Black August when we return, and also maybe have some Black Lives Matter moments too.
Oh, yeah. And I forgot, because did we even go through the whole descriptions of ourselves?
I think I did mine. I said I have my glasses. I've got on my
'cause you was
beads.
trying to get the deal. So for me, 'cause I always forget it, and it is very important. I went through the whole description of why we describe ourselves.
Yeah,
but,
go ahead.
I think my coughing got me off thing. But for those of you out there listening, I'm a big black bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts and stuff from doing this, writing books, being in plays, starting nonprofits, for-profits, and all kinds of things, even taking a political office. So the shirt that I'm wearing right now in honor of our guest last week is
Blair Johnson.
Yep. And it took Brother Washington like 3 hours to figure it out. But if you do see me out on the street now, something has changed since Japan and kind of forever. It's the hat and the bag, but I'll let you see me in person to kind of figure out.
And I'll let y'all figure that out. All right.
It might take you
3 hours. Yeah. Why would I notice that? But anyway, okay, all right. I'm supposed to be your friend. I should be noticing stuff. All right. All right. Just out it myself. All right.
Yep.
So, hey, here, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a short break. All right. And we're going to come back with our guest. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now, we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Before we get into some introductions, Jody has shared that, he's behind all of the sharing on the different platforms. He's behind sharing it on all of the Facebook groups and any other groups. Man, if I could just get the tech part together so that we have some smooth transitions in and out, but hey, it is what it is. Hey, listen, we are back, and as always with our guests, we start like this. We ask who you are, what are you wearing, and what are we talking about today? So today is like unlike any other. So who are you? What are you wearing, and what are we talking about today?
Sure. My brother Washington, and my brother Jody as well. I appreciate y'all for having me on here. My name is Rob Pasker. I'm a real estate broker, housing advocate, and now Toledo City Council candidate, born and raised here in Toledo, Ohio. I've spent the last decade plus helping families open doors, break down the barriers to homeownership, help families build wealth here in Northwest Ohio. I've advocated at the local level, advocated at the state level, and at the national level for housing policies. And I'm just looking to bring that same energy, that same results-driven leadership to Toledo. And I'm a supporter. I'm a supporter of the Community Solidarity Response Network, have been for years. And what am I wearing?
Yeah, what's going on? All right.
I got a black blazer because I got to keep it classy.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I'm switching it up. I got the black Pasker for Toledo T on.
Okay,
one time with some khakis. I got some Ray-Ban Wayfarers on one time for the one time. And if you can't see, I got some locks. I got my antenna up. So I'm very attuned to the energy and the vibrations.
All right, well, it's high here. All right, it's high here. Hey, let's talk about the campaign. When I heard that you were considering, and then you went down to the Board of Elections and made it official, man, what everything that you've got going on, it's like, yo, bro, you won. All right, you won. All right, you won. So why City Council? For you, and why now?
Certainly. No, and I appreciate that. And that's by the grace of God. By the grace of God, you say that I won. I mean, for me, it's more so about how can I have more impact? How can I affect the people around me? How can I uplift more people? And I believe that, yes, I've done the work. I've been doing the work without a title in Toledo, but on City Council, I would have an opportunity to have a greater impact, create more powerful, impactful coalitions and collaborations, and help uplift Toledo, because first and foremost, I love Toledo. I travel the country on behalf of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and wherever I go, when I talk about Toledo, the opportunity that exists here in Toledo, and that has existed and persisted. At a certain point, some of the most wealthy people in North America lived in Toledo.
Yeah,
at the turn of the 21st century.
Hey,
20th century.
Right. If anybody's ever been to Wildwood Metro Park, you'll see the Stranahan house there, and that's all their property.
Absolutely.
All right.
100%. So I mean,
man, that's what's up.
We talk about Toledo. It's one of the most affordable real estate markets in the country. As far as logistics, we have I-80 literally going from ocean to ocean. We have 75 going from Canada to the tip of Florida that intersects in Toledo. Our park system is one of the best park systems. Our art museum is one of the best art museums. Our zoo is one of the best zoos. There's people that don't live here that see the gold mine that Toledo is. And in this position on city council, I will be in a position to help the people in Toledo partake in this gold mine that exists here and create pathways to prosperity.
All right, that's awesome. All right, so since you started your campaign, how do you think you've been received being one of the new people? All right, you're not like a Ashford, you're not like a Coleman or a Brown, some of those names that, get recycled again and again and again.
Right.
How have you been received?
Well, I could say from the people, it's been very positive, very, very resounding feedback as far as my candidacy for Toledo City Council. I believe that people have seen the work that I've done, and they know that in that position I can do more work. I am a newcomer, and I mean, being transparent and in any organization, any space that I put myself in, I've been a disruptor.
Yeah.
And I think the people that are in place right now, they know that, and it is what it is. And thankfully, the people decide who gets those 6 seats.
That's right.
In November. But I'm here to be a disruptor, and I'm here to create a space for people that want to rise in Toledo, that want to live in Toledo and thrive and build a legacy here in Toledo. I'm here to represent those people. So I'm not too concerned what people think as far as the ones in place or, the power structure that be, because if you ask the average Toledoan, there needs to be a shakeup. There needs some type of disruption. There needs some new leadership, and I'm here to represent that.
And I think that just nationally, people are feeling that. Nationally, people are feeling that, okay, we're voting for the same type of people. All right. And when I say the same type, I'm really talking about 55 and up. All right. 65 and up. And we're getting the same results. Something has to change. And so shout out to you and some of the other younger people that are stepping out there, because that being a part of the political world is like the end of your private life.
It is.
All right. But somebody has to make that decision. Somebody has to step up, and no one else is willing to step up, because with it, you bring integrity. With it, you bring character. With it, you bring honesty. You bring trust. And those are some of the things that have been broken. All right. Hey, I want to go to your website and pull up your website. Family, Rob's website is top tier. We just hope that we can pull it up without any malfunctions. Let's see if we can do this. I'm sure we can. Yeah, this is dynamite. And shout out to the tech crew that was a part of putting this together. Let's see if we can do it. Well, I don't think I can.
You got it. I believe in you.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I need to call my wife and say, hey, somebody believe in me. Okay. Now, where's Jody when I need him? No, I think I got it. Can I add it to the Oh, let's do it like this. All right, there we go. Okay, all right. So
persistence.
All right, yeah. All right. Plus, I'll tell you what. Sometimes even older people, all right, I just had my 62nd birthday, all right, or birth anniversary, all right. You only get really one birthday, but you get an anniversary after that. Well,
right.
Whatever you call it, whatever you call it. So even some of us, I guess they'll be sending my AARP card soon. All right. I guess I get discounts for my coffee at McDonald's.
That's a blessing, brother. That's a blessing.
I could sit at McDonald's with maybe get a Electra 225. Like, all right. But hey, even older people can learn some new things. And the way things are going now, we definitely have to switch things up. So shout out to whatever brought me to learn this podcasting thing. So we're looking at your website. Oh man, just the platform. Let's go to the platform. It says Rob's campaign is built on 4 core pillars, all aimed at creating a more equitable, empowered, and prosperous Toledo. Man, access to home ownership. Why is that important? I haven't heard any candidate talking about that.
Yeah. So, okay, of course, my home is in home ownership, but since I've done this, I've actually brought it to housing in general. We need access to housing, but, I'm passionate about home ownership because for most Americans, home ownership is the largest source of their net worth. So when you take away the top 10% of wealthy Americans, over 60% of the net worth in America is in owner-occupied property. So that means most Americans are building their wealth and passing on generational wealth through their homes. And so by opening doors, creating pathways for our citizens to achieve home ownership, we are increasing the community wealth in our city. And this is doubly important because, like I said, Toledo has been number 1 on the National Association of Realtors best places to invest in. And so we have an influx of out-of-state, out-of-country investors that are buying properties in our neighborhoods. And the people that live in these neighborhoods right around Mont Branch, you might be able to buy a house around here for like $80,000, right? But if you come with a loan that has to get an appraisal and you have to go through the bank processes, there's going to be somebody from Saudi Arabia, somebody from California, somebody from Florida that can just drop $80,000 cash
like it ain't
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And so I do believe that the city has to take a hand and put our foots down and create some type of programming to create pathways for our citizens to get some of these properties. Because I'm not anti-investor, don't get it twisted, but I do believe we have so much housing stock that is underutilized. They say there's a housing shortage. Yeah, we do have an inventory shortage on the open market. Okay. But Toledo doesn't have a housing shortage. We have a underutilized housing stock, and we have so much vacant and so many blighted properties. And granted, don't get me twisted. I'm only one man.
I got you.
On a council of 12 people. So for any idea that I have, I'm going to have to get at least 6 more votes to get it passed. But why not take some of these vacant properties, these properties that are on the demolition list that have good bones? Why not use tools like receivership or eminent domain to take these properties, put them in the hands of local developers, Toledo-based developers, to develop these properties for single-family purchase for owner occupants?
All right, that brings us to the pillar 2, economic development. All right, how do you think that you can encourage economic development from that position of city council?
Certainly. I think traditionally people think economic development, they think about bringing in companies here, bringing in
That's what I thought
here.
Too.
We have to empower our local citizens to create their own economies here in Toledo. And I think home ownership, real estate is as far as business is concerned and industry, it drives economic production. Someone said whenever a house is sold, at least 11 different businesses get paid off of that one sale.
Okay,
and so
say that one more time so I could tell Jody later on.
Yeah, no, whenever a house is sold, you have about at least 11 different businesses that are getting paid off of this one sale. And that's not just the 2 different brokers involved, the 2 different agents. You also have title agencies, inspectors, appraisers, appraisal management companies, lenders, underwriters, even down to the county recorders. So it's like, how can we drive local economic development by helping people build businesses in regards to housing? How can we invest in workforce training and development?
Right.
How can we empower our people to build up Toledo and benefit off of what they build up here in Toledo?
Well, in doing all of that, there's going to have to be some zoning and infrastructure changes. And that's part of your pillar number 3. That's something else that I haven't heard from anyone else. Why would you pick that as a pillar?
So in mind, you haven't heard it from anyone else, because you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anybody on city council right now that has a background in real estate and housing. So, housing is one of the biggest issues. And
you got me right there. All right.
I'm just saying we need representation, because the city of Toledo did a survey for their strategic 5-year plan, and housing was the number 1 issue. And so zoning and infrastructure, we can have these grand ideas, but the zoning code has to match. And you have neighborhoods like around my branch library right here with these old homes that were built way back when in the 20s, 30s. They were built on lots that are narrow. And so if someone bought a lot right now, I have a friend that called me about, he just inherited some property, some empty lots over here. He wants to build on these lots. But based off of today's code, the frontage of this lot is too narrow to put a property on it. So we need to update our zoning and infrastructure. People have homes. How can the city of Toledo support them or collaborate with them to help them stay in their homes and maintain their homes? Even we talk about zoning and infrastructure, and we can talk about bringing businesses here, but how can we take this old land? How can we take these old businesses such as the old Northtown? The city did a good job with Northtown. Right. How can we take these old vacant land and buildings and create a space for businesses to come here and manufacture and bring employment here to Toledo as well? And in order to do that, you got to have some community engagement. And I'm looking at your website, and check out paskerfortoledo.com, and not just, just don't take my word for it because I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'll read from the website, but a part of your community engagement is neighborhoods, it's youth. And one of the things that I haven't seen is you've got celebrate with grassroots organizations to remove barriers to ownership. And we're grassroots. And sometimes if you're grassroots, it's like, okay, you can come in here, but Jody can't. Or everybody else can be a part of this, but since you're grassroots, you guys, maybe another time. Why did you pick to collaborate with grassroots organizations? Well, because I'll say this, we are our own saviors. Nobody's coming to save us, and we already have people in these neighborhoods doing the work. So why doesn't the city? First of all, the city is the government. The government can't do all the work. I think the government should keep the place safe. They should help keep it clean, and they should help with the budget to empower local citizens and local organizations that are doing the work to do the work that they're doing. And so, that's key. And don't get me twisted. City Council has done a good job. The Committee for Housing and Community Development just graduated a class of a cohort, which they taught them how to develop their communities, develop their organizations. And I was able to see the results connected with Tim Fields of BESNX Community, where he had a program this summer where he taught kids how to develop games. Yeah. He had a whole gamer program, and he was in that program. Isn't that that's not in Perrysburg, is it? No, he had this at it was the old Brent Whitlock. Brent Whitlock over there. I saw him last year. There was something that he was doing for Juneteenth, and I've always wanted to meet him. All right, certainly. We'll put him on our bucket list, Jody. All right, get him on there. He's accessible, but that's what it's about. These individuals and organizations that are already doing the work. How can the city engage with them and collaborate with them to do the work in these neighborhoods, because the city can't do it all. Right. That's right. And then people working with the youth, and then also being responsive. I feel like decisions shouldn't be made behind closed doors, or when decisions are being made, transparency should be there. So engagement. All right. So, in the campaign, has there been anything that you learned? I always try to be careful when I'm asking this question. Has there been something that you learned that kind of surprised you? Like, oh, okay, this is, I didn't know this, but now I do. Well, the truth is, I'm learning that I don't like politics. Okay, all right. No, I really don't. I mean, because for me, I do the work. I put the work in. Let's identify what the issue is. What are solutions to this issue? And now based off of what's the best solution, let's implement. This campaign, to me, a lot of it's performative. It's a lot of true. It's not a lot of substance. And I'm a man of substance. And so, like, going through this rigmarole of I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to put it out there. You stack me up against 11 other people. I'm top 6 as far as candidates for City of Toledo, as far as what I can bring, as far as my leadership, as far as my results and the impact that I have had and what I could have. But going through the rigmarole of performing to get that out there, I'm not a fan of, but somebody had to remind me, you just got to do it now, because once you're on there, you got 4 years.
Yeah. Well, and that's, it's a part of it. There was, whenever we have someone on the podcast, we try our best to stalk their page, and I'm trying to get some sound to the video that we had the YouTube video. What we're going to do, how about this? We are going to get a brand new tech team. All right. That's going to help us with that. Cause hey, listen, not only go to, the website, Pasker for Toledo, is that?
Yeah. PaskerForToledo.com.
But follow him on Facebook. He was about this work even before he decided to throw his hat in the ring for candidacy for city council. He's always supported grassroots efforts. Whenever we needed your support for something that we felt Rob Pasker would like, if it was a political forum, if it was the Black Lives Matter Awards. Were you ever a recipient?
2019
recipient of, hey, Jody, everybody that we give a Black Lives Matter Award, hey, they doing good. I should have slipped one in my pocket. I should have slipped one in my pocket. All right.
Yeah, they said build your own base. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. No one, and just as Rob is saying that, we have to find some way to support our own communities. We can't just continue depending on everyone outside of Toledo to come in and make a difference. And we're right here. Mm-hmm. And we need the people that's going to advocate for that too.
That's real.
And in doing that, yeah, you might shake some things up, because most times we'll look outside for help when everything that we need is right here, sitting right in front of us. So, of course, we don't do as Jody said, we don't endorse people, but there will be signs. We don't endorse people, right? We don't endorse people, but there will be signs. Let me put. We had your logo up here not too long ago as we were talking on the podcast. All right. One of the things that we also like to do is, we know that along with campaigning comes time and stressors. What do you do for self-care?
Man, I'm going to tell you, it's tough. It's tough because not only am I campaigning, I still have to run my business, Pasker Real Estate. I still got to eat.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay.
Still got that. I'm the president of the Ohio Realtors Association, so I lead 7 local boards and creating housing access across the state. So that's a big chunk of what I do as well. And so when it's not campaign, when it's not Pasker Real Estate, when it's not the Realtors, I like to be at home with my family. I like to be at home with my family. Shout out to my lady Daisy.
All right, Daisy. All right,
she's been my piece for a couple of years now, and it's been great. I like to spend time with our daughters this summer. So shipping our daughters off, being a bus driver, being an Uber driver for our daughters all summer. Awesome. And when it's not about family, truth be told, my guilty pleasure is hopping on the PlayStation.
Okay, all right.
Hopping on the PlayStation, playing some NCAA, playing some Madden.
Okay,
maybe some Marvel Rivals. But yeah, that's keep it simple.
All right. What else is happening in your campaign? When can we expect to see yard signs? When can we expect to see some of the shirts?
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, the people are asking, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm behind. And that's the thing I've learned too, is like, no matter what I do, I feel like I'm behind. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's coming soon, dropping next week. Yard signs, T-shirts. Go to PaskerForToledo.com. You can sign up for a yard sign if you like a yard sign in your yard. PaskerForToledo.com, or DM me. But I'll have them next week. We're gonna paint the city blue.
All right, that's what's up. All right, our last question, unless we think about something else while we're asking this, in CSRN, we're about self-care because of the work that we do. Most of it is trauma-based because we're speaking truth to power about some things that others won't speak about. and we got to take time out for ourselves to kind of regroup, to come back next week or next month or however we do this. Man, 3 things that you're grateful for. What would those things be if you could list 3?
If I could only list 3, first and foremost, my family. You know, my family, my mom, my siblings, my aunts, my cousins, the relationships that I have in my life. I can just say relationships as a whole because I have my family that I was born into, but I have the family that I've created in my adulthood. So for my family, my health, you know, I'm grateful to have my mind, have my right mind. I'm able to walk. I'm able to talk.
That's right.
I'm able to move. Now I'm a little stiff.
Okay. All right.
I'm a little stiff. I need to move a little bit more, but to have my health and have my body. And I'm just grateful for God's mercy on my life because I'm not perfect. I have made mistakes, but you know, with God's grace, I'm still in this position to live my dream despite what decisions I've made in my past.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for God's grace.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned health. Invest in that because I think that I have more years behind me than in front. But at least if you're blessed to be in your 60s and you still have good health and you can still move around, all right, I could still knock out 30 push-ups. I could get it in, but it doesn't happen unless you invest early. So as men, those checkups that we're supposed to have, it's time. If you're in your early 40s, it's time to do those things. That's one of the things that a lot of men may forego. They may think that, well, I'll do it when I'm 60 or 70. Bro, it's not a good look for us having a poor quality of life, you know, in those upper years.
I've seen it. I've seen it in the men that I grew up with, you know, so I feel it now. I feel it.
Yeah,
so I'm
man.
at a point, actually, you'll be proud of me.
Okay.
Almost kind of proud.
All right.
I just paid for a membership at Planet Fitness this past week.
All right.
Ask me, have I gone yet?
Well, you got to pay for pay the membership first, and then you go. All right.
Yeah.
There may be a space between paying for the membership and going, but you got to make that step.
Yeah. Well, and and you're right, because health is wealth, and at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, nothing else matters.
That's right.
You know, so I've tried. Even if it's just taking a walk a couple times a week, man, I've done that at least.
All right, and I'm big on walking. I'm big on riding a bike. Walking is good. You know, there's nothing that walking can't do that jogging and running can. All right, I think that sometimes running and jogging might get a bit more fanfare, but no. Take some walks.
What are your favorite routes in Toledo to walk?
Oh, wow. Well, you find me at walk with my bosses watching. All right. You will not find me. You will not find me at Wildwood between 9 and 4:30. All right. So if you're looking at this, boss, no.
I got you. Well, yeah, Wildwood is beautiful.
Yeah,
the trails there are
beautiful for either walking or put your bike on your car. Man, just nature.
Yeah. That's world class.
Yeah, yeah, and I was introduced to that during COVID. My wife is always the first person that'll figure something out, and then she'll drag me in. And I'll be complaining, if God meant for us to walk, He would have gave us a leg. Oh, okay, all right, I'll go. I'll go. He says some wild stuff at the Muhammad residence.
Oh my
but yeah, I love it now. I love it, and I'd rather just. Get you a few miles of a walk in, man. It does wonders.
I heard
it
that.
does wonders. All right. I want to ask you, would you be willing to come back like after the yard signs and we're planning to have a candidate forum. Would you be willing to come back? And if we had a candidate forum so everyone can come out and hear you, hear what you have to say, feel what you have to say. Would you be willing to be a part of that with the other candidates?
100%. When it comes down to CSRN, whatever y'all need,
that's what I'm
here
saying.
For it. So 100%.
All right.
It ain't nothing but a word.
Okay. All right. Hey, anything you think we left out that we can double back on?
Nah, I think we were pretty thorough. It was an impactful interview. I would just say stay tuned to the feed, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
That's right.
PaskerForToledo.com. Actually, if you go to robpasker.com, I put out a monthly newsletter called The Rob Report, talking about what's going on and also talking about some things going on in the city as far as what's coming up you may want to be a part of. Go check out that. RobPasker.com is your source for all things Rob Pasker. But yeah, I'm here for the people. I've been here for the people, and I just want to help take the people. I want to help the people put themselves in position to create prosperity for their families moving forward. So, don't pass on Pasker November 4th. Spread the word. It's a movement.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, the Rob Report. Jody wouldn't know nothing about that. All right. Hey, family, I'm looking forward to talking to you again. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Hey, this is the CSRN Podcast, our weekend review. Hey, we'll be right back. All right, that'll do it.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. The program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. Sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it, we have to breathe it, we have to do it, we have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a VU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. VU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, I would say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
And shout out to Brothers United, man.
We are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. And look, a quick shout out to Rob Pasker. You see his logo in the low right corner of our podcast, celebrating this brother as he lets go of his private life in order to serve the community. You just cannot serve the community in secret. All right.
No, you cannot.
Man, so anyone, in particularly the younger men and women that decide to do that, hats off to them. Also, there was something else I wanted to discuss, Jody. I think this week we lost one of our day one members of CSRN, and she was doing CSRN stuff before CSRN was even in existence. Her name is Rolita Noble, and during Kwanzaa this year, when we mention her name, we will be saying Ashe for her. I met her maybe in 2011, and she was having a community think tank where all of us community thinkers and activist type people she would open her house up, and we'd have a title or a topic of the day, and she wouldn't judge, she wouldn't criticize, however a person believed the point or expressed the point. And it was there that I met Jabril Bey, who was one of the co-founders of CSRN for what we're doing right now. So we thank the universe for Rolita. And she still lives, all right? She still lives in our memories. She still lives in principle and everything that she shared with us. So shout out to her. She was also a part of our Toledo Kwanzaa House, where she was an intricate part of planning Kwanzaa every year since I've been a part of the Toledo Kwanzaa House. So wanted to mention our sister Olita, and also maybe if you scroll through our page, you might find her as one of the participants when we shut down or interrupted the MLK celebration at Savage Hall. I think that was back in 2015 or 16. And when it was time to do that, she was one of the first to say, yeah, let's do it. And another note, it was I think it was Mother Twyla Page that gave me that idea that that could happen. All right. So shout out to our sister Ashe. Rolita, our sister Rolita Noble. Also, if you get a chance, pick up this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. And shout out to the Final Call. For the past several issues, we've been highlighting what's happening in Israel or Palestine, no matter depending on where you are on that subject. And what I want to do, I'm going to read you this week's article, which is labeled, where is it at? Man, which is labeled for Israel, the end game is complete takeover of Gaza and permanent expulsion of Palestinians. And it says, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, during 2024 Savior's Day address titled, What Allah, the Great Mahdi and Great Messiah Have to Say About the War in the Middle East, he said that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wanted to take absolute control over all Gaza and all the West Bank and all of Eastern Jerusalem, and there will be not one Palestinian left. It also says in this article that there are reports that Israel will increase military operations in the besieged Palestinian territory of Gaza, but will not annex it entirely or keep it long-term. At Final Call press time, it is widely reported that Israel's security cabinet had approved the plan to take over Gaza City. So check out this week's edition of the Final Call. You'll find them at Bobby Howard's at the corner of Indiana and Nebraska. You'll find them at Seaway Supermarket. I'll make sure I drop some off there. Central Market, right there, Central and Cherry.
Mott Branch Library.
Look, the paper came out yesterday. We'll be having them at Mott Branch today. So shout out to Mott Branch Library for continuing to support CSRN and all we do. Also pick them up at Powell's Beauty Supply and Yummies. And shout out to all of the the businesses that support the Final Call, and also the public that always pulls up on us on the corners of Bancroft and Detroit whenever the brothers are out with the Final Call newspaper. Pick it up. If you don't have $1, hey, look, just get the paper, all right? You know, I got a few left, all right? So we support our community. Get this week's edition of the Final Call. Jody, I think that's all I got to for my community updates. That's Sister Rolita and this week's edition of the Final Call. Of course,
and I guess that could be your Black Lives Matter moment.
That is my Black Lives Matter moment. All right, meeting Sister Rolita.
So I'll jump in before we do updates and everything with my Black Lives Matter moment being the Twilight Awards.
All right.
Which
whoa, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, so as we go all the way back, we actually, how they say, build your own community.
Wow.
To put people in office that you know that are in the community. So we actually have 2 candidates that received awards from our Black Lives Matter awards. Rob was 2019. Right. Was that the same year as
Brittany? Brittany Jones?
Did she receive an award? Well, I was going to say Pasker.
Yeah.
No, he received an award.
I think his was the second. I think his was the second.
In a way, doing the Black Lives Matter awards, we did cultivate our own.
Yeah, everybody doing good.
Entities.
We should have gave ourselves an award, so we could have been doing good too.
Well,
I could probably still have hair. If I gave myself an award, I probably still have hair. It's like, damn it, Jody.
It kind of works. That whole thing,
man.
Build your base and stuff like that. Because I mean, I'm not city council, but I am one seat under. I am executive committee. And now we have 2 possible candidates that will be
that's right.
on council, which means even before 6 years ago, we were changing the vision of Toledo politics then.
Wow.
Just didn't know it.
And we called those awards the Twilight's.
Yep.
That's when they had the Oscars so white, and everybody was like, why can't they award us? Well, why can't we just have our own award show?
Yep.
Why can't we get noticed? Why can't we?
And those are the ones we gave out the mask.
Man.
Wooden carved statues and mask, and then we came back and did it with the 25 under 45.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So that's my minute.
I forgot about that. Oh man, all right.
Yeah, scholarships and all. We've done an amazing job. A lot of people ask me when I do individual things like, why isn't that listed in your bio? Because it's not my accomplishment, it's my community's.
Okay.
Anything that I've done in activism or my nonprofits or even politically, I don't add to my CV file as things that I've done. I was there, I was a part of it, but it was a team. So I do feel some way when people are like, yeah, and we did this and we did that. Like I could easily mention crime survivors and
I got you.
And all the other stuff, but that's not my accomplishment alone. And, sometimes things don't, we had 12, 13 organizations when we started.
But I understand what you're saying. And
it does in certain fields. It's like a resume.
If you weren't
I'm going for a community assistant job or whatever, I might throw that in there.
But I'm going to say, we're not for you and what you bring to this activist space, because everybody bring an agenda, everybody bring an angle. Maybe I shouldn't say everybody, but at least 99% of them bring an angle. I got an angle. All right. I got an angle, but sometimes we don't need that.
Right.
We need just honesty and sincerity and you brought that. You bring that to this thing, and nobody has a Jody. We got a Jody.
Go back through the comments to see if anybody recognizes at all what is different about.
They're not going to get it. No, let's come on. We only got. It's 7:09. We got to get the heck up out of here.
So, and I only got 12%. So, what weekly updates has become, or is more of, I tried because. So my page doesn't get so cluttered, or so our page doesn't get so cluttered as the organization. We give you a rundown of local stuff. These coughs. But so if you were anywhere in the city of Toledo or Lucas County, these are just some things that were sent to me that I may not have went to in the past week.
All right, let's go.
Thursday, August 7th, we had the Young Professional Mixer at Toll House, hosted by Gutter Dave. If you don't know where that's at, that's 1447 North Summit Street. That is currently, as far as I know, unless something changes, every single Thursday.
Okay.
And I believe Rob came afterwards as I was leaving out, had to get in my Uber and stuff. I tried to wave, but I think the windows were tinted. But I did see him outside towards the end, because from there, Thursday, August 7th, we had the film mixer, or the summer film mixer for Film Toledo down at Wildside, where we were all discussing the latest Hollywood movie that will be coming out August 22nd. Unfortunately, it's not getting its theater release, but if you were in Toledo and you were at the casino or Sylvania, maybe Perrysburg too, the movie that was labeled as Stick Shift during shooting, and now, as everybody knows, it is Eeny Meeny. It's a heist movie. It was fun. It was great. I still got a poker chip from set, because I grabbed everything from set, at least one thing, all them famous actors and stuff do that. So I have a poker chip that's been in my pocket since the casino scene, and hopefully I'll see myself in that. But that is August 22nd on Hulu and Disney Plus. The mixer was great and everything. Actually, there's an audition going on right now. If you follow Film Toledo, I believe it is next week coming up for a commercial. So it is a paid position. Main actors get 500. Background characters get the same SAG fee, which is 150 for the day of shooting. So if you go on there, check, fill out the script. I believe they want a vertical video script of you saying who your name is and all the stuff, and you'll be allowed to do the readings. And I want to say that's the 17th, but if you go on their page or my page, you can find that out. Friday, August 8th, there was an Artist Talk at Toledo Museum of Art, my new job, with Natalie Lanice. I was at the Glass Pavilion. I was working, but if you don't know who Natalie Lanice is, she is one of the artists that me and 7 other artists did the Your Chapter Awaits project with the Toledo Lucas County Library, which was posters based off of one of my poems that 7 artists were given to encourage children to read. I actually will be having some of those posters coming back out, because I have like 400,000, no, not like 4,000 of them.
Okay.
In my place that haven't been brought out since then, but at the Toledo Eastside Love Day at the end of this month, I will be bringing some of those out for free. Following that, Saturday, August 9th, there was C. Crystal. She does C. Crystal Shops. She is located actually downtown at 415 North Michigan, 1 block from the library, right across from the courthouse. She's on the 3rd floor, but it was a great grand opening. I was glad to be a part of it and meet all the people, see the poets, and hopefully there'll be some other stuff going on. I love that you could look outside the windows and see the trees, and then beyond that's the courthouse, but see the trees, and it's a very nice vibe in her shop. It is unfortunately not wheelchair accessible, so it is 3 flights of stairs, but it is great once you get up there and get to rest around and see all the stuff. Also, Saturday, August 9th, there was uncloistered poetry at the Attic, which was awesome, as it is always. I was able to make that and perform. I did the Grief and Gratitude poem, which is 2 sides of the same coin, which will be in Childhood Trauma Series Volume 3, maybe 2026, 27. It depends on how long I take to build the anthology of that up. And the first initial speaking of the piece you're going to hear today for 5 minutes of heat is I finished that at the CC's Crystal thing and read it for the first time.
Okay.
There. So that was interesting. And that was the past events that I have, except for there was also, I'm Polar Bear. I went to Woodward, and I did say it like that. But Scott had their reunion weekend this weekend. So anybody that was attending, I saw all of that stuff. It looked great and awesome and stuff. One day, us Polar Bears are going to come together and have ours, but that's okay for right now. Anything else that was going on this weekend that I can't think about?
Well, I think you covered it. Oh no, we do have one thing. I don't have the artwork for it, but if I'm not mistaken, the African American Men's Wellness Walk is coming up this Saturday.
That's coming up for past weekend. I'm going to run through the stuff that's coming up real quick, and then we are going to go to 5 minutes each, and I got 10% on my battery. Been up since 5, and it's it did good. So coming up, actually going on right now, which I believe is going to happen every single Tuesday, as far as I know, unless they send out cancellations. There is a new open mic, the Listening Room at Handmade Toledo, 1717 Adams Street. If you don't know where Handmade Toledo is, it's in between the Attic and that little Mexican restaurant on the other street. I can't remember, Pacos, something like that. But there's a little Mexican restaurant. They also have their block party coming up on the 23rd. So just giving you a heads up about that, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it. I'm not, because I'm going to be speaking at the UAW Hall. But happening also right now is screen printing and community building with the Swell team. I'm going to say Swell team and Juke Mode. Swell is one of the magazines that I was in this summer. So go check that out. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing another one, but they're doing that 6 to 8 p.m. So you got about 45 minutes to go down to Jip Mode to check that out. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. is Rally in the Alley at Ostrich Town. That is over in Vistula area. So it's supposed to be live music from distant cousins located in the Dora district, food trucks, local eateries. I'm not sure what food trucks they're going to have, but it is from 6 to 9 tomorrow. And also tomorrow is at 7:30, the Stroke and Sip. That's going to be at the Code. That is an open mic poetry event where I'll be at. There is the option to just come in and listen to poetry, which is $5. Or if you want a canvas to paint while the poets are performing, there are several features this week. Shout out to Sunkiss Ty, however you may know her. She is the host of this show. We started out with poetry on the patio, and we're just continuing to go. We have been at the Code since, I believe, the beginning of this year. And moving on from there, also this Thursday at 11:30 a.m. is Shavar Dante Lunch at Levis. So that's Levis Square. I guess is a musician, the KB Backford. But it's lunch at Levis, and I guess they're going to have some music. Somebody invited me to it, and I'm just letting people know
that you might be there.
That is going to be happening because it's 11:30 in the morning.
Okay. All right.
Thursday, August 14th at 6 p.m. is the community movie nights at Toledo City Parks. Let me click on it. Shout out to everybody that's been doing the movies and stuff for the kids. This one is going to be at Detweiler Park, 39,000 North Summit Street. Captain America is the one that's going to be playing Brave New World. So that is 6 to 10 p.m. Detweiler Park, 3900 North Summit Street. Captain America playing for the community movie nights with everybody there. Speaking of films and everything, as we are going down our list, I believe I got one more thing after this, and then we are going into 5 minutes of heat. This Saturday at 1 p.m., Fighting for Film Stunt Workshop. That is the same people Film Toledo and stuff. You know, if you want to get into filming and podcast or movies or all that good stuff, this is a way for you to learn stunts, fight basics, fighting for camera basics, fight choreography, and everything else is going to be at the Midwest Cheer Elite. That is Williams Road, Perrysburg, Ohio. I'm going to get the number here. That is 12. I want to say that's 1,000 is 12265 Williams Road, Suite A, Perrysburg, Ohio. It is going to be 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. There is a ticket cost, so make sure you click on the link to find out what that is. And for the very last event is the Ottawa Park Concert Series. That is 6 p.m., probably until dark. I'm looking at the details, and who we have playing on the 16th is Cheeks. I don't know anything about them, but their name is Cheeks. Last week was called.
If I can have a big old cane full. All right. Okay.
I didn't name them.
All right. I know you didn't. I know that you said it, but all right.
The week before that, they had Leadfoot Granny. Interesting band names. I'm pretty sure they have a great sound. So Ottawa Park Concert Series is continuing to 6 p.m. in the Ottawa Park Amphitheater. And that is all the events that I've been invited to. Shout out to BRB The run club and everything that's going on. I did see that they had a little police harassment saying that they had too many people gathering in one spot to run. So I'm not sure what happened with that, but I did see that and made sure I made my comment and 2 cents on that, doing all the social media stuff. Too many people running.
That's a good problem to have. And I'm positive that they'll figure that out.
Yep. I hope they will.
Figure that out. They'll figure that out. And listen, also, I don't have the artwork for the African Americans men's walk coming up this Saturday. Normally I would, but I don't. Check out, I think, my brother Carnell Smith's page. It's happening at Scott High School.
7 a.m.
Right. Saturday morning. I'm trying to see if I can get the CSRN table there, pass out some final calls, talk about men's health with some of the older men, because that's what it's about. I mean, really, we're taking ourselves out. We're taking ourselves out by pride. We're taking ourselves out by willful ignorance and aggressive ignorance. That's when you don't know and you don't want to know. So show up there and support. Let's support each other. We talk about sports. We talk about entertainment as older men. We talk about who got the newest phone. Hey, let's talk about health. All right. We owe it to our families and our loved ones. All right.
Go get your blood pressure checked, get a shirt, do some stuff, go for the run if you can.
All right. Hey, let's pay some bills. Hey, if you like what we do, we'd like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, and maybe comment too. You can support us via, no. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, which that's where we are right now. Listen to us on Spotify. Watch us on YouTube. We're trying to get, 100,000 subscribers, and I think they'll send us one of those plaques, or we can make one ourselves. All right. But we're definitely trying to do that. And also, as soon as Jody gets out of his bag, he's going to start posting on X, formerly known as Twitter. All right. And if you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App. That's hashtag CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. And all you have to do for our YouTube, just type in Community Solidarity Response Network. Yes, it's a lot of letters, but you'll only do it one time, family. Then click the notification bell, click like, click subscribe, and every time we have a Rob Pasker on our podcast, you'll be notified. All right. You don't have to say, man, I wanted to see it live. You can see it live because you subscribe to our page. You click like, follow, and subscribe. I think that's all Black Lives Matter signs. We have a few left. We may have to deliver one tomorrow.
Or today.
All right.
Still here.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Make sure you stay close to me. All right, for that. $20. Hit us up on our inbox. And we've got the Defund Toledo PD signs, defund12.org/Toledo. We have some say-so in how we're policed. We have some say-so where those funds go. Matter of fact, I think earlier this year, there was a vote so that the city of Toledo would get one of those MRAP tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And we showed up. Hey, we're taxpayers. And Rob talked about home ownership. And when you own a home, it's a different vibe. It's a different feel. So family, hey, hit up Rob. I mean, not hit him up. I mean, contact Rob Pasker. Get some more information on home ownership. That's also a part of his platform too. And okay, all right, Jody, I'm done. Let's get into some 5 minutes of heat. As always, we end our programs and we end most everything that we do with what we call 5 minutes of heat. That's creative expression. We don't bang a gavel. We don't say meeting is adjourned. We end our meetings with creative expression. And over the past 10 years plus, Jody has served as our person that brings the heat for 5 minutes of heat. And we take that from a song called 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. That was back in the 90s or maybe the 80s. Rob, you would not know anything about that. It was just a thought, all right, in his mom's eye. And we took that, kind of remixed it, and every week If Jody's here, we have 5 minutes of heat. What do you have for us today?
Well, as I got 7% left, and yeah, awesomeness. I've been able to do this. Eventually, I'll start calling out to more poets and other authors and stuff like that to come in. Also, Fonda, she says you're doing great with the technology.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Fonda. Okay. All right.
Shout out
I
there.
got one person. All right. My own wife did not log in and say, honey, you're doing well. All right, Fonda. All right. We got to get her a sign just for that. All right.
So this is the piece that I just finished. Actually, I don't write as much as I used to. I kind of don't need to after 7,000 pieces, books, and movies, and all the other stuff. I had said a lot of emotion to things that I needed to where a post was floating around over the weekend, and it was asking people, are you healed or are you just isolated? And it's come up before in over the years and stuff, but, you know, I decided to write something to it instead of just consistently, you know, leaving it in the comments for people to do. I make poems. I make history. It's going to go in the book one day eventually. So might as well say it with your chest.
All right.
So this piece is called Consistent Growth. It's super short, only 234 characters. I thank you again for everybody that comes. Follow my page, follow us if you want to see me ever live in person, because this is 10 years and I'm getting close to that retirement age where you're going to have to book me or not see me. All that good stuff.
All right. I did not know that.
Well, consistent growth. Let's begin. Peace. I am healing. No one is fully healed. We grow every day. I'm not isolated either, because I expose myself to as much beauty, trauma, pain, and joy that one being can take in a 24-hour period. Because all we have is the day. Yesterday is gone. Today is here, and tomorrow is not promised. And peace.
As always, we snap our fingers. I appreciate that. I think that may be the shortest.
It's one of the shortest ones, other than Glass City Strong and my intro.
But the quality of it, the quality of it is what's going to get us through. Hey, Jody, hey, listen, we are coming back next week. We will post maybe a little bit later on who we're going to have in.
We do some reels on the information on housing our awesome guest just gave us.
Yeah, and listen, as we close out, be a part of the process by registering to vote. Be a part of the process by, if some people say, well, I don't believe in voting. Well, we vote every day. We make choices every day on what you wear, which route you're going to take to work, what you're going to cook. All right. Be a part of the process and get to know those in our community that's taking up the helm of representing us. Yep. And as always, all lives can't matter until what? Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else? Yeah.